Hi friends, welcome back to Live with the Roxy on this Monday morning, depending on where you are, afternoon if you're on the same timeline that I am right now on the East Coast, or evening if you're in a way cooler country than where I live. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me on this Monday at this earlier time. I decided to make sure I went up before SEN because A, don't want to get the wrath of Christian on that one, not trying to compete with SEN. B, it's Steph Sabrow's first day on that show. So for sure, after you're done with this, we will be done by the time that they start. Absolutely. So head on over from here to there to support our girl, Steph Sabrow. I think that it's Steph, Goddard, Brett, Christian, Chips, and Ryan today. So if I forgot anybody, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's who's on. So make sure you go support them over here. As far as supporting me over here, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, or right here in the super chat. We got some stuff to talk about today. I've been loving having these shows with you guys where we talk about what the biggest debates are going on Twitter. I don't know how you guys are feeling about that, but this morning I woke up to a Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon debate that I was like very passionate about. So I decided that that would be the main topic of the show today. But also I saw, even though I'm in Boston right now, I'm planning on going back to LA very soon. And LA is eliminating outdoor dining, which I think is a disaster of a choice, but we can break that down. I'm a big Gavin Newsom fan in general, but I don't exactly know what his logic is behind this one. And then Fauci was talking a little bit about COVID vaccines and herd immunity and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll just be talking about all of that here today on the show. And as always, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly, Russ the Cops that killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor, who knew we had to add those caveats, but apparently we do, because in this country, we arrest people or police officers for the shots that missed Breonna Taylor, not for the ones that actually murdered her. What the fuck is that? It's just the way that we've been doing things, and we're going to rage against the machine and fight it as long as we have to. Oh boy, guys, oh boy. Let's go into the Streamlabs, see what's going on with you guys to start the show today, and then we will get to Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon. Get your thoughts in early, guys. All right, in the Streamlabs on this 23rd of November. Wow, this month is really fucking moving. LD in the house. LD, we've missed you. LD123 says, hey, Coach, I hate to say this, but I feel that you would want an update on Nation ZZZ, aka Eric. Oh no. Oh, I read ahead. He took his life last week after his parents kicked him out again. He was going to tour with Les Mis, but now he won't ever sing his songs again. Oh my God. LD, no, I appreciate you telling us. Oh, we love Nation ZZZ. That's fucking awful. I know how badly he was struggling. And LD, I know you did everything you could. You nonstop were reaching out to him. That fucking sucks. I was just actually talking about this with my sister yesterday, and just like after COVID and quarantine, I think that they're going to find a lot of things that they didn't even know. People, bodies, domestic abuse cases, suicides, things that we aren't even accounting for right now because everybody's just trying to keep their own head above water to survive during this fucking horrible, shitty, don't know how to make heads or tails of it time. And people aren't really checking on their neighbors or paying attention because that's what we're being asked to do, stay inside and all of that. It's awful to hear. Everybody in here as well, sending love, and I'm sorry, LD, that's horrible. We know that he was a person in the rock stars, a rock star to us, but I know he was your friend, and that's fucking awful. And God, that sucks. That sucks. Thanks for letting us know, LD, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you during this time. Oh, Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. I don't mean to cavalierly move on, guys. I just don't know what else to say other than that. A lot of people taking their life right now. A lot of people's lives being taken right now. It's just fucking horrible. Glenn Caesar said, hello and good afternoon, Roxy. Love you. Happy Monday. Poor Glenn with the happy Monday right after that. As always, thanks for making time to hang out with us today when you could just be relaxing on your own. Instead, OSA show today too, or no? Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon? Wow, that's a toss-up for me. Once again, Roxy, aka Roxy Buckets, Misdirection, Skittles, RJ, I hope that you and the rock stars all have a joy-filled rest of your day, your week, your month, and your year. As always, peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to you and all the rock stars. Hashtag smash cancer. Glenn, I don't think I said there was going to be an OSA today. I actually haven't heard from DJ, but I was thinking maybe tomorrow, but I don't know. I haven't spoken to him. I know we wanted to talk about New Mutants this week. So just kind of depends on what DJ's schedule is. Hopefully I'll talk to him soon. Thank you, by the way, Glenn, for the awesome support. You're a lifesaver for me. And yeah, I know it's kind of a toss-up between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon for a lot of people, but certainly not for me. Certainly not for me. And I will be talking more about that. Oh, I'm looking at the chat right now. Oh, God. Gregory Castillo says, you're never alone, Rockstars. We're all in this together. 100% that, Gregory. And it just sucks that Nation's EZZ couldn't feel that in that moment, because I know that he did in other moments. And sometimes it's just, there's nothing anybody else can do. And people have fleeting thoughts and take action on those thoughts, which is why it's so important to wait until the next morning, think about the light of day. Like, a lot of people will talk about giving themselves 2 years, seeing if things get better, all of that stuff. And especially because he was, I think, 18, so young, like it would have gotten better. I know it would have. So fucking horrible. Yeah, fucking horrible. Well, looking in the chat, a lot of stuff going on in here, guys. Abby says, what a loss. Rest in peace. Rich says, I have the COVID, found out last night. So far, just a fever and aches. Stay safe and stay the fuck home. Rich, completely fair comment. I hope you're okay. Fever and aches, not too bad as far as COVID things go. So just try to take care of yourself. Get a lot of sleep as much as you can. Don't go out anywhere, as you know. Get that chicken noodle soup remedy. Sleep it off, drink a lot of water, flush it out, take that vitamin C, boost your immune system, zinc, all the things that you can do. Try as best as you can. Gregory says, prayers up, Rich, you're going to beat this. Matt says, hang in there, Rick. You guys are the most supportive community ever. Thank you for getting through the show with me today. Honestly, I'm a little shook after that comment, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are, but let's go to the Streamlabs. Rob Fishbeck of the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider says, in my opinion, Nickelodeon was far superior to Cartoon Network growing up for so many reasons. Live action, animated, game shows, award shows. Nick's branding was on point. Cartoon Network was great. However, if you throw Disney Channel in the mix, that changes things for me for sure. Yeah, so Rob, this was why I thought the debate this morning was so funny, because I've always debated Nickelodeon versus Disney Channel. That has been the debate in my head for a long time. And honestly, that could be a different show, because I don't know who wins that argument. But when it comes to Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, I was shocked to see the amount of people who said that Cartoon Network is superior to Nickelodeon. What did they grow up watching? Cartoon Network is bomb.com. I even wrote these things down. My transition game today is not strong, guys, but this is what 2020 is. It's fucking figuring out how to bounce back from woof. So this is what I came up with for Cartoon Network that I loved. Growing up, these are the shows on Cartoon Network I absolutely adored. Ed, Edd and Eddy, can't deny it. Thought that show was fucking awesome. Send bunnies if you're an Ed, Edd and Eddy fan. Dexter's Lab, obviously, phenomenal show. Dexter's Laboratory was like the geekiest, nerdiest, most awesome Cartoon Network show. Obviously, Powerpuff Girls. It's like the whole theme of the World Girls. We all love Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls are fucking awesome. That was a big, big win for Cartoon Network. Johnny Bravo. Loved Johnny Bravo. These are the ones that were fucking great. Now, let me read for you guys what I loved about Nickelodeon. And these are the shows that, like, literally I couldn't have lived without as a child. Keenan and Kel, All That, Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Hey Arnold, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Clarissa Explains It All, Double Dare. And there were so many more. I mean, that was my short list of things. Like, how are we going to compare Cartoon Network to Keenan and Kel and all of that? How are we going to compare it to Doug and Rugrats? I mean, that was like the jam. Rugrats being the only show growing up that I saw that had a Hanukkah special that made me feel like cool to be Jewish. I mean, that was like the fucking move. How are we going to compare it to Hey Arnold, Move It, Football Head? Like, that was the Wild Thornberries. They were fucking weird and kooky, and I related to having an odd family. So good. Clarissa Explains It All. They had the live action, they had the cartoons, they had the game shows. They were just like fucking Nickelodeon. And Cartoon Network was awesome. And you found this like rare hidden gem. And okay, yeah, I like, everybody wanted to be either Buttercup or Blossom. I get it. Powerpuff Girls gives a huge point in Cartoon Network's direction. But versus Nickelodeon, you want to throw Disney in the mix. I hear you. I'm with you. That's tough call. But Nickelodeon, Nick is kids. Like, it's so good. It's everything. I do see Swaggy Blurred joining us in here right now. He just throws up the eyes. Winston, what are the eyes for? Are those my eyes? Do they get really big when I talk about this? Swaggy Blurred says Nickelodeon. Like, that's what's up. Cartoon Network had SpongeBob. Cartoon Network, but SpongeBob and Rugrats hit hard. Wait, SpongeBob wasn't Cartoon Network. SpongeBob and Rugrats were both Nickelodeon. Oh, Cartoon Network, but SpongeBob and Rugrats hit hard. So you're voting for Cartoon Network despite SpongeBob and Rugrats. Abby says, I think Cartoon Network had more creative. Shoes, probably shows, but I think I like Nickelodeon better. Did it have more creative? You guys think? Xeno Hour saying Cartoon Network is way better than Nickelodeon. Toonami and Adult Swim put it over the top. Wow. Xeno Hour. Wow. Guys, we are not on the same page. Like, we are nowhere even close to the same page. I don't even understand. Nick is kids. Nick is kids. Like, they made that statement, and that's what's up. Like, that's what's up. Dexter's Lab was the greatest of all time. I feel you, Praddock. I feel that. Dexter's Lab was phenomenal. But like, when we're going tit for tat, did you guys hear my list? Did you guys hear this list? Keenan and Kel? Just throwing all that up against any of those shows, like, that show was brilliant. Doug was fucking fire. Quail Man was the shit. Do you guys remember Quail Man? And like I said, the Rugrats, they had that Jew thing going on. I needed that Jew thing. As told by Ginger, she was badass. All right, what's Winston got? I mean, Cartoon Network had Dexter's Lab, PPG, Johnny Bravo, Justice League. I know the Justice League part I haven't even spoken about, which is not fair. And they also did bomb-ass reruns. They, like, when I was looking, I was like, didn't I used to watch all this other stuff on Cartoon Network? And then I looked up like what they're initially started with, what their, I guess it would be like the syndicated shows that they were playing that were not originally for Cartoon Network. But Cartoon Network did reruns starting of Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, the Hanna-Barbera shows, which was Yogi Bear, Quick Draw McGraw, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Johnny Quest, and Scooby-Doo. I mean, those are major points in their directions, because I know that that wasn't originally for Cartoon Network, but the fact that I could watch those shows on Cartoon Network, I don't know if I watched anything more than Flintstones, Jetsons, like Looney Tunes growing up. I mean, those are so easy to put on no matter what. So that being the way that it started, definite points in their direction. But then I go over to this Nickelodeon list, guys. There's so many I didn't even name. Rocko's Modern Life, Real Monsters, which is Doreena's favorite one. She talks about it all the time. Rocket Power. I can't believe that wasn't on my list. Woogity, 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 woogity. We are riders on a mission. Like, that makes sense to me. This is what it's all about, guys. It's all about Nickelodeon. That's the problem. I mean, that's not a problem. That's the truth. Some of these shows I don't know, though. Let me know if you guys remember a show called The X's. It was on from 2005 to 2006. What's that about? The Penguins of Madagascar. Don't remember you. Legend of Korra, I haven't mentioned because I wasn't a Legend of Korra. I didn't watch it, but that show was lit from what I hear. TMNT. I mean, yup. Wouldn't it say New Adventures of Johnny Quest with the VR world? Oh, God. Rocket Power from Star. You can't forget it. You cannot. Okay, here's what Average Joe 1990 says. Honestly, Cartoon Network was more male-centric with action-heavy shows and shows featuring males as lead. Cartoon Network didn't really have female character-led shows minus Sailor Moon. Oh, Sailor Moon. Nickelodeon, lots of female shows. That's kind of true. That's kind of true. And even like live action ones. Dare we throw Disney into this mix right now? Is that going too far? If we throw Disney into this mix, will we be here all day? Because like I kind of wanna answer the ultimate question about Disney versus Nickelodeon. But you guys let me know. You guys let me know. Is it too far or not? Let's pause and go into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. So Joker 40 says, hello, sending best friend vibes to Newton. I'm only dropping in quick because I'm at work. I don't care if for Cartoon Network, really. So I guess Nickelodeon. Did you read your poem yet? BFFR gang. No, I haven't yet. So Joker, I need to. I need to. I will today. Thank you so much for reminding me. And I do love Cartoon Network. It's not that I don't love Cartoon Network. It's that Nick's for kids. And I'm a kid. Paul3JP says, where my Doug and Angry Beaver heads at? Oh, yeah, Angry Beavers. That wasn't my show, but I remember watching it a few times, and it was legit. It was legit. I'll give you that. All right, what are you guys talking about in here right now? Let's see what's going on. Look, Legoland, almost called you Legal, caught myself, says, I never watched Disney. Ooh, someone's missing out. Someone's missing out. Glenn Caesar says, Roxy, can't we just give You're Awesome, thanks for participating in award to both in a tie and just call it a day? I don't want this stress. I know it's tough. Excuse me, Powerpuff Girls introducing America to Sailor Moon. Yeah, I know those are two really big ones. The Powerpuff Girl one is huge. Like those are two massive female-centered shows. So you are right, Winston. You are right. Nick had some game shows that were inclusive and awesome, says William Mason. Yeah, the game show element for sure. All right, you guys are talking a lot about Disney too in here. Let's just look. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to have the full debate, but we might. But let's just look. Let me just, what's it called? Humor me for a second. Disney Channel. Let's watch. I mean, are we counting the Disney Channel movies? Because that's next level shit. The Disney Channel original movies were fucking next level shit. So I don't know. I don't even know that we can. Wow. I don't know. I don't know that those can count. If those can count, how does that not trump everything? Oh, can I not even use the word Trump anymore? Ugh. How does that not top everything? Is that a good equal word? All right, let's see. Disney Channel original series. What we got? All right. Famous Jet Jackson. Whoa. Hitting us with that fire in 98. Really good. Even Stevenson in 2000. 2001, we had not only Lizzie McGuire, but the Proud Family. Proud Family being like probably my favorite. 2002, Kim Possible came in. 2003, That's So Raven. Oh, fuck, guys. Fuck. 2005, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I was getting a little too old for it at this point, but still was here for that sweet life. Hannah Montana comes in 2006. That was perfect babysitting years for me. I loved watching Hannah Montana. Corey in the House. Phineas and Ferb in 2007. Wizards of Waverly Place. That's a little past my time, but I know how the people feel about Wizards of Waverly Place. Good Luck Charlie. I've heard mad things about that. Phineas and Ferb comes back. Okay, and then I start to not know any of these things because, like, adulting. Casey Undercover I've heard of. Raven's Home. Pretty interesting. You throw in that Disney. Sydney to the Max. What is that sound I'm making? Who knows? Hard to are in the mix. They're really competing with Nick. Like Cartoon Network definitely takes third place in the debate between Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney. It's very clear to me that Cartoon Network takes third place. It is not as clear to me what happens with Nickelodeon and Disney. I gotta see, what are you guys voting for? If you have to pick of those three, your numero uno, what is the best of all those three? Just that one word, no other answers. Send them in the chat, send them right now. Gotta know, how are you guys feeling? Disney also had Care Bears, Cartoon Network over Nickelodeon. Wow, Brink, bomb. Brink was bomb. But the movies, I don't think we can count them because that's like too much next level shit. Johnny Tsunami, but they were great. They were great. All right, what are we saying in here? Okay, Rob says Nickelodeon. No Concept says Cartoon Network all day. Carol says cartoon. Craig says cartoon. Gabriel says cartoon. What's happening in here? Abby says Disney. All right, Disney because it's my childhood, says Andrew. Cartoon. What's with all the cartoons? Nick, Nickelodeon. Nick is kids. Wow, you guys seem really pro Cartoon Network. I have to say the rock stars seem to put Cartoon Network #1, even though I put them #3. Jonathan says Disney, but like 10 years ago. Yeah, it doesn't mean like currently that's what slaps. It just means like all time, what's the jam? Cartoon and Nick, cartoon, Nickelodeon for me, Nickelodeon. I don't know where you guys are at. And very few Disney people. Seems like a lot of Nick people. Based on these lists, I'm going to have to tell you guys, my gut, eliminating the movies, just the TV shows on these networks, my gut says Nickelodeon. It pains me to say that. It doesn't pain me because I love Nickelodeon, but I feel bad for Disney when I say that. But Disney has enough wins. In my heart of hearts, I feel like Nick is the answer. I think prior to looking at the list, I would have probably said that I thought it was Disney, but in my heart of hearts, I think it goes Nickelodeon, Disney, Cartoon Network. It's really tough. It's like Sophie's Choice, guys. During this time, we've got to make those tough decisions. Going into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Garth Harkness McMurray says, Cartoon Network for me with Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, Grim and Evil, Star Wars Clone Wars. Oh, yeah, we haven't mentioned Clone Wars. Adventure Time, Over the Garden Wall, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Teen Titans Go, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, Justice League, ... What's The Life and Times of Juniper Lee? That's the only one I've never heard of. Carl Maxey says, Cartoon Network also had Toonami. You guys are talking about this Toonami. I don't know Toonami. Is that a tune? It must be a tune show. Toonami. Why didn't I watch it? Why hadn't I heard of it? Where am I at? Wow. The third church says, nah, Disney can't compete. You guys all want me to make Glenn pick one, but I don't make Glenn do anything. Glenn's his own man. Glenn's the boss of Glenn. If Glenn wants to pick one, I will absolutely show you guys what his pick is, but I will not. Toonami was special shows. I don't remember that. Guys, where was I at for Toonami? I was not there. All right, get in your last minute Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider and super chats. Thank you to Winston for joining us, as you were the shit and just obsessed with you. So many good things to come for Winston. And oh gosh, make a Twitter poll, Rox. I should make a Twitter poll between the three of them. Wow. But then how do I, if the Disney movies count, Disney does probably go up to that first spot. It probably does jump to that first spot. But if we're just talking for TV shows, I could just say for the TV shows. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with something a lot less fun than this. Let's talk about COVID. Ugh. Sick and tired of talking about this, but we're still living it, so we're still talking about it, especially during the holiday season, as this is affecting everybody. A couple different things. Number one, Los Angeles was put on a curfew, as we know, for a month. It was put on a 10 p.m. curfew, so between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. you can't go out. I know a lot of you guys don't live in Los Angeles, so that might not be relevant to you. However, this is happening in a lot of different states, a lot of different cities, and so I'm just talking about the one I live in, but feel free to talk about the one you live in as well. And now Los Angeles is eliminating outdoor dining. So you can still do takeout from restaurants, but you can no longer dine outdoors. So First, we eliminated indoor dining, which makes a lot of sense because they say you're 70% more likely to contract COVID inside than outside. Then we made then many steps later, now we're eliminating outdoor dining after that had previously been eliminated, but then added back. I gotta say on this one, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused why we're eliminating outdoor dining. It seemed to me like Fauci, the CDC, the experts that we listen to are saying that outdoor dining was as safe as all the outdoor things, which is what we've been told. Go outdoor. And in Los Angeles, when it's 70 degrees year round and these businesses really need our help, I understand, of course, not letting people dine indoors, but not letting people dine outdoors seems a little strange to me. Now, if experts were, and I'm not an expert by any means, and if an expert was to say to us, and was Fauci or doctors or scientists were to say, this will help eliminate the risk of COVID, because we were finding people were getting COVID in outdoor dining facilities because of the plates or the seats, or restaurants weren't enforcing the social distance or whatever it is. I just like to be informed. And I feel like when they make these decisions and don't tell us why, it's like, wait, but you just told us outdoor dining was safe. Was that part not true? Or did you guys figure out that it wasn't the case? Or are you guys doing this for a reason that I'm unsure of? Because the restaurants are certainly going to take a massive hit for this, again, especially in a city that is warm all year round. So you can sit outside all year round. And this is going to be put in effect for 3 weeks. So if you guys are going to do this, I'm okay with doing things to lessen the risk of COVID and to save lives. I just kind of would like to know what the thought process is behind it, because you guys just told us that outdoor dining was as safe as takeout. And now you're eliminating outdoor dining. So did you find other research or what? Because I would, in my brain, and again, I'm not an expert, but here's what I would think. What people are going to use as an alternative to outdoor dining, because people are meeting up with their friends for outdoor dining or whatever. It's not that people aren't going to see their friends anymore, because we've seen that doesn't fucking work. People don't listen to the rules. It's that people are going to see their friends indoor, and instead of going outdoor to an outdoor dining spot with them, they're going to invite them over to their home. And a lot of times they don't have outdoor at their home, so they're going to invite them inside. And that's how COVID's going to spread, especially as things are getting colder out in other places. Brianne joining us again. Yes, I'm the luckiest girl alive. She says, but what happens on the 4th week? Are we less susceptible on the 4th week? If that's the case, I have no idea. Like that, and that's the thing. I feel like just talk to us. Just talk to us as people. I don't know that everybody's reasonable, but I do know that I am. And if Gavin Newsom came out and was like, here's the deal. We're having this 10 p.m. curfew because experts are finding that you are 10 times more likely to get COVID after 10 p.m. because people are drinking, or bars are not enforcing the rules at that time, or XYZ. And you are more likely to get COVID in an outdoor dining facility than takeout because XYZ, or we are trying this new tactic that we believe will do XYZ. But instead, they just place these rules on us like we are sheep, and they don't explain it. And so people aren't as likely to follow it because they don't understand what the consequences are. So yeah, I've seen that police officers in Los Angeles are not enforcing this curfew. And who knows if, I believe restaurants will have to enforce the non-outside dining, because otherwise they'll get fined. And these restaurants can barely afford to stay open, let alone to start getting a ton of fines. So I just want to be spoken to and explained it to. And I don't understand why they can't just talk us through their logic and their thought process, because I want to know. And if outdoor dining is not safe, and you guys had told us it was previously, and then you found out something that made it not safe, I would like to know what that is. On the flip side of that, Fauci has been speaking to us as the God that he is. I cannot say enough positive things about Fauci, but he's been talking about the vaccine and what this would look like. And he said that we might achieve herd immunity reasonably quickly if the vaccine comes out. He says that if 50 to 60% of people get the vaccine, then we will not achieve herd immunity. But if a vast majority of people are getting this vaccine and they start getting it in December, people are saying by May, we might be able to achieve herd back to starting to live actual life without masks, life not just in outdoor dining, but indoor dining, life going to friends' homes, like remember life, because I know it's hard to remember sometimes. Miss Movie says, who would find them? That's where the confusion is too. Is it the city they're in? So city officials are in charge of finding? Such a fair question, Brianne. I don't know the answer. I don't know. Like the restaurant bureau, is that a thing? Zoning regulation people, is that who? Is it the city? Is it the state? Is it Garcetti? Is it Newsom? Unclear. Yeah, what happens if you leave your house after 10? What happens if you are a restaurant and you stay open on the sidewalk? What happens? We just kind of need to know. And they don't really give a shit about giving us like more of their thought process because they know they can make the rules and just like, this is it. Just talk to us. Alexander Wilson, going back to our debate before, says, Toonami played a lot of anime like Dragon Ball Z. It introduced a lot of anime to the USA. Also, I love Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, but all that on Nick was great. Alexander, welcome to the struggle. Welcome to the struggle of trying to figure out what's up, what's down. Is it Disney, Nick, or Cartoon Network? This will be a debate we have for a while, I think. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider says, strictly sticking to shows, Nickelodeon is the winner. Gives me the most nostalgia. And was the network my sister and I gravitated towards the most. Disney is for sure a close second. At the end of the days, all three have their fair share of great shows. Leonard Kim, no argument there. All three of these networks slap. And if anybody's looking for voice people, then that's my favorite network, whoever you are. Sips of tea. Went down the wrong pipe, guys. Okay, again, I don't want to go up against SEN for Steph Sabra's first show. Appreciate you guys going to tune in and support her. Please, that's how that show works. If you're liked, if you're loved, then you stay. Go give those Streamlabs, show support, all that stuff. If you're watching here live, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Thank you to my friends, Brianne and Winston, for joining us here today as well. I love when they're in the chat. I love when all of you guys are in the chat. Obviously, this show is off to a little bit of a bumpy start today, and I'm not going to stop thinking about you, Nation ZZZ, and neither are the rock stars. LD, thank you so much for informing us, and Nation ZZZ. Hopefully you're in a brighter, better, different place in which you don't have to feel that pain anymore, because I can't even imagine if your parents kicked you out and all of that, what that would feel like. And may you rest in peace, and I'm so sorry to hear about that. It just shows us all that be kind to one another. You never know who's really fucking struggling. I know that all of us are struggling right now, but sometimes people are struggling even more than they let on or that you know. So if you can do something nice for somebody today, please do it. If you can bite your tongue instead of saying something dickish to somebody, I know that's hard for us massholes or sometimes opinionated people, but please, guys, try to spread love, not hate, especially during this time. Make your beds. Put down the toilet seat. We already know about those plumes. Go support our friend Steph Sabra. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm also on Apple Podcasts now. If you leave a review, I will read it on the show tomorrow. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll be back tomorrow live with Roxy. I don't know whether I'll go up before SEN. I probably will go up before SEN, so probably the same time as today, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you guys so much for being here. Much love. Stay safe, stay sane, and I'll see you tomorrow.